Hey, what's up, guys? I've got another Modern Warfare 3 gameplay for you. It is another domination on mission, and I've got Bradford 9-1 again, and we are going to talk about Modern Warfare 3 and the best part about it. I'm going to go ahead and say it's safe to say that we can split this game up into its campaign, its multiplayer, and the Spec Ops modes. And the Spec Ops has like kind of a point A and a point B, right, with survival and then the missions. So let's jump right into it. The campaign. It's a continuation of Modern Warfare 2, and I mean, that's really all there is to say about it. What do you think some of the positive things are about it?
Well, it definitely wraps up the story that they've been continuing from COD 4 into Modern Warfare 2. I personally love the conclusion that comes of it. I think it's really epic. It's really, you know, it's final. You know, you're not really left with any questions. You know, I wasn't left with a bad taste in my mouth. It was definitely very final. And I enjoy the game layout. You know, some of the maps were just really cool, really fun to play on. You know, actually fighting around the Eiffel Tower. I don't want to give away any spoilers to people, but you know, fighting in the streets of New York City. You know, running through London, running through France. You know, it actually means
Here
something.
comes your mama's underpants. No, okay. So yeah,
God,
I mean, it's your typical first-person shooter campaign, right? But I mean, do you think there were any problems with it? Like, it's hard to really talk about this. It's pretty boring. It's just a campaign.
Well, I don't really think so. I think, you know, there's always going to be some you know, low points during a campaign. You know, you can't always be like at 100% adrenaline rush all the time. There's going to be those times where you're running through a plane. You know, you're trying to, you know, save some citizen who you really don't even know who they are. You know, you've been hired by their dad who really has nothing to do with the plot. You know, it's, you know, there's just those random times when you're in the middle of this gunfight and you're getting your ass handed to you, and you just look around and you go, why am I here again? You know, there's sometimes the point is lost. But, you know, me personally, I have to play the campaign. It's just one of those things. You know, if I wanna experience Modern Warfare 3 completely, you know, the way Infinity Ward wanted me to, I want to play all three aspects of it. And the campaign is a very important part of the game to me.
Okay, so how about multiplayer? You know, I think we all know the positives of this. It's new. It's not Black Ops. It's not Modern Warfare 2, even though it's kind of Modern Warfare 2. It's Modern Warfare 2 without the bullshit, right? You know, how about that part? Give me some pros and cons about the multiplayer, from our expectations and what we do expect.
Okay, so we're Modern Warfare 2 plus 2 years. You know, the graphics are better.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay is smoother. You know, I rented Battlefield 3 like a week before this game came out, and I never knew 30 frames per second could be so ugly. So, you know, I'm really a fan of just how smooth, how real everything feels. Not too real. You know, it's still a video game. You know, I'm really... There's a nice balance in it. I like that balance. I like the steps that Infinity Ward took specifically to make this game not really easier for the people who, you know, don't have the high KDs. You know, yours truly. You know, I enjoy Specialist. I enjoy support strike packages. They're exactly what I needed to actually enjoy this game as much as, you know, the greats out there. I really like how they're, you know, trying to appeal to all of their fans and not the really good ones.
Oh, so that's a huge improvement, right? That Specialist kill streak. Those new, well, not even kill streaks, point streaks. I mean, that's a huge improvement, right?
Absolutely. It's something that, you know, I haven't seen in any other first-person shooter. You know, I'm not well-versed in all FPSs out there, but this is the first time I've even heard of being rewarded without even killing a person. I actually get rewarded for taking a flag, not just, here's 150 points. You know, I actually get something that I can put into the game. You know, I actually get emblems and call signs to show off to people. You know, it's much more rewarding for me. I like that a lot.
Okay. And, you know, we've got Spec Ops, and they've added survival, and then you've got your basic missions. And I think the mission section of Spec Ops is the same as Modern Warfare 2. I don't think there's any new news there.
No. For anyone who hasn't checked it out yet, there is still an obstacle course.
There's actually two.
I was very upset going into the campaign without having an obstacle course, but don't worry, you can keep timing yourself and running around with those pistols. It's awesome.
So, but let's talk about survival. I mean, it's hard to say that there's any bad things about it. We don't have anything compared to it. It's all good so far.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, it's kind of boring.
Come on.
You know, I know that you like to compare it to combat training. We've heard that. And combat training was sometimes boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not zombies, which everybody was hoping it was going to be. But you know, there are a lot of good things too. I don't even know what I need to ask, so just talk.
Well, I definitely understand that the expectations were for zombies, but you know, everybody needs to sit back and remember for a second that this is Modern Warfare 3. This is Infinity Ward's installment. This isn't Treyarch. I firmly believe we're going to see a return of zombies next year. You know, I can't think of anything Treyarch could do to hurt themselves more than to take away zombies in their next installment in the franchise. It's just something that's going to happen. But in the meantime, I feel like Infinity Ward has definitely made their own edition that we haven't seen before. Survival mode is brand new. It's, you know, it's definitely been around. You know, there's arcade games dating back to the 80s that play like this. But its best feature is that it's, you know, it's like a study guide for multiplayer. It's definitely something that has to go hand in hand with multiplayer. I cannot imagine only playing multiplayer or only playing survival mode. I feel like the two are just one, you know, symbiont being that, you know, you have to experience
Symbiont.
them both.
In no way has a sexual connotation for the 90% of us who have no idea what that means.
For those of you out there who don't know what symbiont means, they need each other to survive. You know, you can't
Not
fully
sexual.
you cannot fully experience survival mode without multiplayer and vice versa.
Okay, so where did Infinity Ward hit gold with this game? What is the best part of the game? If I'm going to turn it on, and let's talk about what his gamer tag. He says, if I were to buy 3 games a year, I would buy this one, this one, and this one. That's how he rates games. You know, if he could only buy 1 game a year, he told us. He's like, I would buy Modern Warfare 3. If you could play 1 game type, what would it be?
Multiplayer.
Multiplayer.
It's where Infinity Ward put all of its money in COD Elite. You know, I was kind of hoping for some aspect of Call of Duty Elite to show off my stats in the survival mode, you know, in the missions. I was hoping for something like that, but, you know, it's probably not too high on their priority list right now. So, you know, multiplayer is where it's at. It's where the money's going to be. It's where Treyarch is going to continue building on the COD Elite experience. You know, the campaign gives meaning to the maps. Survival mode gives you a study guide for the maps. But, you know, it all comes together in multiplayer. That's where everybody's at.
I think it's generally agreed, too, that these games are now designed for multiplayer.
Yes.
You know, and that's all you hear people talk about, too. You talk with your friends about it. That's what you're going to see YouTube guys talk about. That's what this is a recording of. Granted, you know, you're going to see probably a lot more Spec Ops on this channel than any other. But you're not going to see any campaign. And it's, you know, I guess that's where the interest is at. And obviously the developers, you know, they recognize that. And so I think I agree. The campaign, for me, is just another campaign. It met all my expectations. It was fun. It was really engaging. But it was just another campaign. We've had first-person shooter campaigns since, what, James Bond? I mean, it's really not even an improvement over that, besides it looks better, right? And Spec Ops, well, I mean, mission mode is like campaign, right? Campaign without a story, so I mean, you could look at that as a downgrade, or, you know, a lot of them are co-ops, so you can look at that as a pro-op, but really it's like a campaign, right? And then with survival, God damn it, it's fun, but you can only do it with one person, and I know a ton of people are upset about that. With one other person, anyway. And so, you know, I have to agree. You know, I think the only answer for that could be multiplayer. By no means do I think that means the other sections of the game weren't as good, and I think you'd probably agree with that. But yeah, so it looks like this game's ending up. It's you can look at the KD there. I can't quite see it. I'm on top of the leaderboard, and you can't see it either. So sorry. Whoops. Alright guys, that was today's video. If you want to check out yesterday's video, it's on the screen. Go ahead and click it to view it. And really, it's just a part 2 to this video. It's on Domination, it's on Carbon, and Bradford91 makes an appearance. So make sure to definitely go check that out. Thanks, guys.